And you thought he was cute before. Look at this peacoat, tell me he's broke.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna be doing a story time on my labor and delivery, and basically what went down that day, how it happened, where it happened, where, like, everything. And this story is gonna be a TMI story because I'm gonna tell you guys what went down. So yeah, let's get to it. So this story starts on March 5th, which was one of my doctor's appointments. And during at the end of your pregnancy, your appointments are every week. So this was just one of those appointments where they check if I have open, or if she was gonna induce me, or what was gonna go down. So I had obviously appointments before this appointment, and I will get checked, and they will always tell me, my doctor will always tell me, you haven't opened, you haven't opened. And I was just thinking, like, why? Like, I was bouncing on the ball. Like, I will walk to pick up my brother, like, what's going on? Why am I not opening? Because I was trying to avoid to not get induced, because I did hear that hurt more. So I was just like getting frustrated, and then finally on March 5th I went in and they told me that I was just 1 centimeter open, which is still frustrating because it's like, okay, just one when you're supposed to be 10 open. And I was like, okay, like, and I did hear, like, they don't keep you in the hospital till you're 5 open, if I'm not wrong. That's all I heard it was 5. So whatever. So I was like, okay, like, and she was already telling me, like, if you don't open, because I was on a Tuesday, she's like, if you don't open by next Tuesday, which is your next appointment, I'm gonna send you that Wednesday morning, which was the next day, to get induced. And I was like, oh, okay, like, that's the plan, whatever. So after that, um I went home and I told my mom, like, oh, finally, like, I'm on open. And she was like, see, it's because I made you drink the tea. And this tea is basically like the tea of clavos, and it's basically like a tea of clavos. Like, I don't know how to say it in English, but it's like when you make a ham on Thanksgiving and you put, like, the pineapples, like that thing to pin it, that little, like, clavo, or like that little, like, thing, like, the, I don't know, it was a tea out of that. And let me tell you guys, that shit tasted nasty, it smelled nasty. I wanted to throw up every time I drank it. And my mom was like, see, drink it, like, you open one, like, if you drink more, like, you'll probably open more. And I was like, no, I don't want to, like, it's disgusting. But I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna drink it, because if I did open one, like, it helped. So I drank it. When I would drink it, like, I would try chugging it, but when I would chug it, I would try, like, I would want to throw up, and I couldn't even smell it. I had to, like, drink it like this, like, it was bad. So that happened. And whatever, it was the next day on a Wednesday, March 6th. And I woke up at 4, and I wasn't feeling no cramps. Like, I just woke up because, well, I just woke up. I was feeling nothing, and my mom was going to work, and she told me, like, if something happens, like, let me know. But I was just thinking, like, oh, nothing's gonna happen, it's gonna be like the other days, like, nothing. In my head, I was already like, I'm gonna get induced, like, that's it, like, I'm not opening, like, this is going by really slow, like, I'm gonna get induced. So I was like, okay, I'll let you know if anything. So, and then, like, time went by, and it was like 7. So everybody started waking up at the house. They started getting ready to go to school, work. And I was getting my little brother ready. And when I was getting him ready, I started feeling cramps. But they were like, I could take the cramps. Like, I was like, okay, like, maybe it's just because I'm hungry, because I haven't ate. And yeah. So I sent him to school. He goes with my grandpa. That's his ride. And then after, my grandpa comes back and he picks up my older brother. Well, he's not older than me, but, like, my older brother, whatever. He picks him up and he takes him to school. So that ride was already gone if something were to happen. And then my aunt was just looking at me, because the pain started coming like this once I, like, sent off my brother to school, my little brother. I started feeling the cramps come, and they were harder. And I was, like, in pain. Like, I will make these faces because the pain is, like, it hurts, like, it hurts. And my grandma was like, why don't you time them? So I started timing them, and they were only 4 minutes apart. And I was like, no, like, maybe I'm just getting cramps. So I ate tuna, because it was on Ash Wednesday and I couldn't eat meat. So I ate tuna. And I told her, like, do you think I should walk around the house? Maybe it will make the process go faster. And she was like, yeah, you should walk. So I will walk, and then when I was walking, I was like, I have to throw up. So I went to the bathroom and I threw up the tuna. I'm sorry, guys. I know this is like too much, but I threw up. And then I went back to the living room and I just sat down on the couch and I had the trash can next to me and I was going through the pain. Like, I was just like sitting down. Maybe I was like, maybe if I lay down, like the pain will go down, but it wouldn't. And to the point where I had to take off my underwear because I thought, because I had pink underwear, like pink. And I thought like that the band of like my underwear was like hurting me. And I was like, this just hurts really bad. Like, I never felt this. And she's like, I think we're gonna have to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, because I don't want to get sent back home. Like, I just don't want to go just to go for them to tell me like, we're not gonna keep you here because you're only one open, which I had thought in my head, like, I'm only one open. I just had gone to the doctor yesterday. So I was like, okay, like, I'm not gonna want to go. But I was calling my mom and I was texting my dad, like, you know, like, I might go to the hospital, just letting you guys know, like, so be ready. And then my mom and my dad were like, okay, just let us know, like, if anything was going on. Because my dad works in Oxnard and my mom works... Well, my hospital was in Tarzana, so that's even, like, 20 minutes away from my house. So imagine Oxnard and imagine, like, from where my mom works, like, she works in Sun Valley. So, whatever, like... So my aunt was gone, my grandpa was gone, and my grandma can't drive, so it was just me and my grandma and my uncle. And my uncle was about to go to work, and I was like, should I just tell him that I'm going through this pain? Because at this point when my grandma was in the bathroom and I was like in my room, like, just like going through the pain, like trying to sleep it off. And all I wanted at that point was my grandma. I was like, Titi, like, I was knocking on her door, like, Titi, like, after you're done, come lay with me, like. And she was like, okay, like, you know. And then after she was done, I tried going to the bathroom to go number 2. And when I went, nothing. Like, I wouldn't want to... Nothing would come out. So whatever, I tried laying down, and my uncle was like, okay, like, I'm gonna leave. And he was waving, like, he was saying bye. And I was like, should I stop him or should I let him go? Like, what should I do? And I was like, whatever. And then I let him go. I didn't tell him anything. So he left, and then my grandma comes out and she was like, I think we're gonna have to go to the hospital. Where's Pepe? And I was like, wow, like. And I was like, he just left. And she was like, really? But my uncle owns his dealership, so he could leave basically whenever he wants. So that's why I really didn't like hesitate. Like, I was like, well, he could come, like, there's no way he can come. So she's like, okay, I'm gonna call him. He comes like in less than like 5 minutes. And yeah, so I was in the bed, I was in my room, and I was like holding onto the bed, and I was like breathing, like trying, like breathing through the pain, breathing through the cramps. And he comes in and he looks at me and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, this really hurts, like. And he was like, do you want to go to the hospital? I was like, I think I'm gonna end up going to the hospital, like, I think let's go. And he looked at me, he was like, you know what, mija, like, you look like you're in pain. I think they are gonna keep you there. He's like, so where's your bags? And I was like, oh, they're under the bassinet. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna start getting the car ready. He was like, you and my mom get ready. And I was like, okay. So I got ready. I just put on some PJs, a long shirt, and a sweater because it was raining. And my grandma got ready. I got everything ready. My bag, my social security, everything ready. And we left. And when we were going on the way, it was like sprinkling. And there was like all those like speed bumps were here. I would like be like, oh, like, you know, like it would just hurt. And then my uncle started seeing me through his mirror, the mirror in the back, well, like whatever, he started seeing me through the mirror. And I guess he was like tracking down the time of like my contractions. And then he was telling me like, these are 3 minutes apart. He's like, I'm looking at you and I'm seeing that they're 3 minutes apart. And then he wanted to be all funny and be like, Vidi, don't get mad at me, but I'm hungry, can we stop by McDonald's? And I was like, I was just in the backseat like, do not talk to me, like, this is not the time to talk to me, this is not the time to talk about food, like, no. Like, no, just take me to the hospital and let's go. So we went to the hospital and we pull up and my uncle tells her like, oh, my, like, she's going, like, she's about to have a baby. So they come in the wheelchair. I get on the wheelchair. They're pulling me in, like, they're taking me in. I was already registered at my hospital, and I wanted that hospital. My mom was like, why don't you just get Holy Cross? It's right here. And I was like, no, I want Tarzana because I want my doctor to deliver my baby. I was like, she was with there with me. I'm comfortable with her, like, I want her to be there. And my mom was like, okay. So I was already registered there. So I just had to give them my name. And yeah, so they took me into my first room, and my first room was with other pregnant girls that are in active labor, or if the nurses are trying to see if they are in active labor. So they had me hooked up. They put like a little like belt thing on my belly, and it checked on the heartbeat. It tracked my cramps, like my contractions. It would track them. And we were there, and then they checked me, and when they checked me right there, they were like, "Oh, you're 3 centimeters open." And I looked at my grandma. I was like, and she was like, "See, that tea worked." And I was like wow, like it actually worked. Like it did, like open me up. And then, so yeah, and then I was just there with my grandma. My mom was on her way, so she had came already. And my nurse came, and she was like, "I think that you're really like in pain, so we're gonna keep you there." She's like, "We're gonna keep you here." She's like, she gave me my gown. She's like, "Here, like here, mama, changing this." Sorry, she was like, "Changing this." She's like, "We're gonna clean the room that you're gonna go to, and we'll take you there." So whatever. So I go change, and I go use the bathroom. I wanna go pee. So I go pee, and when I wipe, like there's nothing but blood on the like thing, and I'm like, I freak out because I'm like, during my whole pregnancy, I never once spotted, I never once bled, so I panicked, and I like called my mom, and she was like, "No, it's normal. Like, don't worry. You're about to have a baby. Don't stress out the baby. You're fine." So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, my mom should know. She's been through this. So whatever, like I get in my gown, they come like 20 minutes later, and they were like, "Okay, mama, like we're gonna have to walk a little bit." So as I'm walking, like they're making me sway. Like I have a nurse right here and a nurse next to me, and they're like just sway, like move your hips. And it actually, honestly, that helped me 100%. Like I felt the cramp coming, and I like moved, like they're like just swing, and it helped. Like I liked it. So I told my nurse, like, "Oh, you think when I get up to my room, I could walk in the hall?" And she was like, "Yeah, we have like this new device that we hook it up to you, and we could track your baby's heartbeat and your contractions. So yeah, we could try that on you." And it's like this new thing that's going around. So I was like, perfect, like let's go. So she takes me up to my first room, which is the second floor, which is like the labor and delivery room, like whole like the rooms. And I'm in there, and by that time it's just me, my mom, and my grandma. And they're like, "Damn, we're hungry." And I was like, "You guys could go eat, like go eat, like it's fine." And they were like, "Okay." So they walk out, and not even 2 minutes later they come back in, and they're like, "Your doctor's coming." And I was like, "Oh my god." So my doctor comes in, and she was like, "How you doing, sweetie?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm fine, like it just really hurts." And she's like, "Yeah," like she's just really comfortable. I really love my doctor. I loved all the nurses I worked at Tarzana. Like they were amazing. Like I love them. They made me feel comfortable. They made me feel safe. Like I just love them. They did really a really good job. So she was just making me feel like if I was fine, and she was like, "I really recommend you getting the epidural." And in my mind, I didn't want to get it at all. My mom was like, "You shouldn't get it." My dad was like, "I feel like you shouldn't get it because when you do get the epidural, there is some consequences if something goes bad. Like you could be paralyzed, like just so many things that are really scary because it does go on your back." So I was like debating on it, and I was still like, no, because I was only like 5 already open, like 5. I forgot to say that when I was 5 open and I was in the room, my doctor came to see me when my mom and my grandma came back into my room, and she told me I was 5 centimeters open, and she told me, "But your water hasn't broken." And I was like, "Okay, so that what's gonna happen?" And then she was like, "I'm gonna have to break it for you." And I was like, "Does this mean I'm getting induced?" Like that's the only thing I thought. And she was like, "No, no, no." She's like, "No, I'm just breaking your water, like you're fine." And I was like, "Okay." The moment she like broke my water, and I felt like water come down, I was crying. Like I don't know, it was like so many hormones, like I don't know. But I wasn't, and I wasn't even sad, I wasn't scared, I was just crying because I was like, "Oh my god, like my baby's gonna be here." So yeah, 5-3, like open. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going through the pain. My contractions were only 3 minutes apart, and contractions are weird. Like you will feel contraction, and you're like in pain, and then it will stop, and then again 3 minutes later you feel them again. And it's just like a bipolar, like it's just like so many mixed emotions. And I was just like there in pain. Like at that time already, like hours had passed, and my tia came, and my dad came, and two of my other cousins came, and they're twins. we were all in the room, and I was just in pain. Like anything my mom would say, when my dad would like even laugh a little bit, I'll just be like, shut up, like do not talk to me, do not nothing. Like I am in pain. Like the only thing I was eating was ice chips. Like the only thing I have ate was the tuna that I threw up. So like I was just in like no mood to talk to nobody, no mood for no laughing, no mood for nothing. And I did not like that, because I actually wanted to enjoy my labor. Like I wanted to enjoy it, and like just like not be in such a grouchy mood. Like I didn't want to be that pregnant woman, but it is painful. And yeah, so I was in pain, and my nurse will come and check on me, and then she told me like, honey, do you want it? And I was like, I don't know. Like at this point, like I will start tearing up because of the pain, and my mom was like, no, don't get it, don't get it. And my dad was like, don't get it. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna get it. Like I told her that. And then but they come check me. I'm 6.5, and at that point my contractions were coming every 2 minutes, and I couldn't take it anymore. Like I was like, imagine I'm only 6.5 open. By the time I'm more open, they're gonna start coming back to back, and this pain is no joke. And I told my mom, like I was just looking at her, and I was like getting mad at her. I was like, because she had 3 kids, and all 3 kids she didn't get the epidural, so props to her. And I looked at her, and I was like, not everybody is like you, not everybody is built like you, not everybody could take this pain. And she was just like, are you sure you want to get it? My dad was like looking at me like, are you sure you want to get it? And then my grandma looked at them, and they were like, you know what, just let her get it. I can't see her go through this pain anymore. So my nurse comes in, and I tell her like, you know what, I'm gonna end up getting a shot. She was like, okay. So in the process of getting the epidural, there could only be 2 people in your room, and the 2 people that were in my room were my mom and my grandma. Everybody else had to step out. And I was like shaking, like I was shaking a lot, like I was just shaking. And my nurse, once again, like they made me feel really good, they made me feel safe. The guy came, I don't know what's the I don't know, the person who's in charge of like all of that. So he comes, and I'm like sitting on the edge of the bed, my feet are hanging, and I'm like right there, and the nurse is in front of me, and I just have my back like this. So imagine you're like this, like slouching, like with this big old belly in front of me. I'm going through pain, and I'm telling them like, can you guys please do it when I'm not getting a contraction? And then they told me like, we're gonna try our best. It's because it's the spine, like it's like a certain spot in the spine that he needs to find. And I'm like, whatever. So I'm like shaking, and she's like talking to me, and I ended up feeling really comfortable, like to the point where I was like hugging her when they were giving me this shot. And it was like they numb you first, and then they put the shot. And just like the IV, I thought it was gonna hurt. That was like my fear, the IV, because I was like, I don't want to like move. And then like I was just thinking so much stuff like when I was pregnant. And then but first what they do is that they numb you, and then they put the needle. So that's the same thing they did to my back. They numb me, and then they put the needle, and all you feel is like, you just feel like liquid. I don't know, it's like weird, like you just feel it coming down to your legs. And not even like, she was like, it's not gonna help. Like she's like, my nurse told me like, it's not gonna work right away, but you're gonna notice that this contraction that you're about to have is gonna be short. And I was like, okay. So the contraction was like short, and I was like, after that contraction I didn't feel nothing, like no contractions at all. My legs feel numb. The first thing I did after that shot, like when they gave me like the okay, like you can move, was I felt my legs right away. I moved them, and I was like, okay, I could feel them and I could move them. So that was okay. So they had me on the bed, like on my side, with the ball, like a yoga ball in the middle of my legs, for it could like help me open, it could help me stretch out and stuff. So I was like, okay. So I was like chilling like that, and like I was like finally talking to everybody in the room, and they were like, oh, so now you want to talk to us? And I was just like, yes, like okay. So I was talking to them. The epidural, I 100% recommend you get it. If you want to get it, you get it. And also, props to any mom who... Okay, also props to any mom who does not get the epidural. I give you props 100%, but me, I just couldn't go through it. So, I get it. I'm fine. I'm not feeling anything. They come check me. They tell me when I got the epidural, I was 6.5. So they come check me again like a few hours later, because my labor was in total 12 hours. And they come check me like a few hours later. Then they told me that I'm 8, because after I got the epidural, like the process started going fast. Like I started opening more. So they said I was 8 centimeters open, and then I was like, okay, like I was just getting so excited. My mom was getting excited, my grandma was getting excited, like people were just getting excited because at 10 you could start pushing. So we were just there chilling, like whatever, like having a talk, like, oh, I can't wait till he's here. And then finally they come in, and then they check me again, and I was 8 centimeters open already, and I was just waiting there, waiting and waiting, and then finally a few hours more passed by, and then they told me she checks me, my nurse, and she was like, you're 10 centimeters open, but she's like, we're not gonna have you push right now yet. We're still gonna have you with the yoga ball, and we're gonna wait for your baby to make his way down even more. And I was like, that's fine, because I wasn't feeling nothing. You just feel pressure, like pressure on like your leg, and like you just feel pressure. So I was like, okay, I'm fine, like I'm fine. So I was just right there, and I was like waiting and waiting, and then she comes back and she was like, we got the call from your doctor that it's okay, you could start pushing. And everybody started getting excited. I was getting excited, and they start getting everything ready. The nurses start putting on their like gloves. They start putting on everything, and my dad steps out because my dad wasn't gonna see that. So in my room when I was pushing, it was my mom, my grandma, my tia, and the twins. 5 people, and my mom was FaceTiming my madrina from Mexico. So in total, like I had 6 people watching me. Like, but it was I like thank Tarzana, because they did have a lot of people, and usually they don't have a lot of people. Usually they just have the kid's father and somebody you want in the room. So I love that I had all those women in the room there with me to support me while I was pushing. So I'm getting ready, and they have me laid back, and my legs are open like this. The thing, like, you know, girls, when you get a pap smear and they put your legs up. Well, they had my legs up in that, and those little like leg holders, and that's it. Like, okay, so I was ready in that position, and 2 of my cousins, which was my cousin Jenny and my tia were getting my legs. And she basically told me, the nurse told me, like, okay, this is what you're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to take a deep breath in, and when you push, I'm gonna count for 10 seconds. 10 seconds, and you're gonna keep pushing until those 10 seconds, and then you're gonna you're gonna do that 3 times, she said, like 3 times in a row. And while you're doing that, your cousins are gonna be pushing your legs towards you. And I was like, okay, fine, like, let's go. So I had my arms like on my legs, they were pushing it towards me, and I was pushing. So I had to be like, and then push for 10 seconds, and then again break, and then take a breath and push. And I was just losing like my air. Like, they had to bring an oxygen tank, so I had like an oxygen tank with me, because just couldn't breathe. Like, this was hard work. Like, giving birth should be a sport, because it is hard work. Like, it is hard work, and I wish guys could go through it, because guys, it hurts. So yeah, so they had me pushing and pushing and pushing, and nothing, like, nothing, nothing, like, and I would get mad, because my fear was a C-section. I did not want to get a C-section, and my doctor was not even there yet. Like, she wasn't there. Like, it was just the nurse. So yeah, like, I was just pushing and pushing and pushing, and then I hear them screaming like, oh my god, like, I see hair, and I would like stop, and I'll be like, okay, then where is he? Like, I would just get so frustrated, and my nurse would be like, no mama, like, don't put yourself down, like, you got this, don't give up on yourself. And I was like, you know what, like, you're right. Like, so I just kept pushing and pushing, and I don't feel nothing. So she's telling me, like, push, like, you gotta poop, and I'm like, I don't feel anything down there. Like, so when I pushed and I heard them cheer, I was like, okay, I must be pushing right, so keep pushing the way you're pushing. I couldn't breathe, guys, no more, to the point where, like, she was like, I'm only gonna count for 8 seconds, because, girl, you can't do this. Like, she didn't say that, but I was like, you can't do, like, the full 10 seconds. So I was pushing, and nothing. And then my nurse was like, okay, let's take a 20-minute break, mama, like, you're fine, like, let's just take a break, and we'll go back and continue. And I was like, okay, fine. So we take a break, and in that break, I was just like, oh, I don't want to take this break. What if he's just going back in there? And it was just so frustrating for me. Like, I was just getting so frustrated. So again, we start pushing, but this time she had me pushing a different way. My cousins were still pushing my legs towards me, but I had to like play tug of war with my nurse. Like, she had like a towel and she was like, push it, and I'm gonna push it too. She's like, we're gonna be doing tug of war, and when you're doing that, push. So I was like, okay. So she had me doing that, like, she had me doing it like 5 tries and nothing. And I don't know where, like, I got a knock on the door and it was my doctor. Dude, my doctor, I don't know what she did. She got all ready. She set up. She started cheering me on like if I was about to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Like, she had me. She was cheering like, I was like pushing and she was like, go mama, yes mama, yes, yes, yes. And I was like, dude, that made me ponerme las pilas. Like, I was like pushing. I was like, yes. Like, it was just so funny. Like, I was just pushing and pushing, pushing. Not even like 5 pushes. Like not like of those like 3 like breaths. Like, not even like that long. Like, I push and I just feel like, like pressure and like water like all over my legs, and I hear everybody cheering, and I'm like you're just like they're like half dead. Like, holy moly. Like, I just gave birth, and I just feel that they gave him to me right away. And I noticed that the first thing that they gave him to me, I did not hear him cry. So the first thing I said was, why isn't he crying? Like, why isn't he crying? Like, I was just, and I started crying because I'm like, I get worried. I seen bad things like when babies don't come out crying, like, you know. And I'm in my bed and I'm like trying to get up, like, to see like why isn't my baby crying, and I'm getting like stitched up down there because I did tear. Like, guys, it's normal. Like, people tear. The like a whole human just came out. So she's like stitching me. She's like, it's okay, mama. Like, this happens. Don't worry. You're fine. And I'm like looking, because now in the hospitals, when you give birth, the moment you give birth and your baby is next to you, they do not leave, like, they do not take him out of your sight unless something's wrong, like something serious wrong. So seriously is wrong. So they had him, they were like patting him on his back, moving his legs, and he was not crying. And I was like, why isn't he crying? Like, and they're like, it's okay, like, he just like came out, like, let him breathe, you know. And as I'm seeing my mom and my cousins and my grandmas and their face looking at the baby, like, they look worried, and I'm like freaking out. And then finally, like, I hear him like take his first cry, and the first thing I do was like, I'm like, thank God. Like, you can even see it in the video. Like, I'm gonna be posting videos and you guys are gonna see like my reaction when I heard him cry. Like, I was just in so much relief. Like, I thank God, and I thank everybody. Like, I was like, thank God. I hear my baby cry. So yeah, my baby came out at 9:15. He was 6 pounds and 14 ounces. He was 20 inches long, and yeah, 9:15 p.m. actually, and it was on Ash Wednesday. It was so cute because it was Ash Wednesday, and like a priest was going around the rooms, and he came, he did a little prayer for me, and I got my Ash Wednesday that day. So yeah, and since my baby was in like the canal, whatever they call it, for like an hour and a half because he did not want to come out, dude, he did not want to come out. They were about to vacuum him. Like imagine if they okay, so he was there in the canal. He had a cone head, guys. Like, my baby had a cone head. So imagine if they vacuumed him out. My baby would have been like a gnome, like a straight up gnome. But his head went down like that same night. But yeah, like, I gave birth to him. He cried, and I was so happy. And I'm so happy because my baby is here. He's healthy. He's good. He's sleepy right now, like a little lazy booty. But yeah, like, he's here, and I'm happy. I loved my delivery. I loved everything. Like, everybody who was in the room was supposed to be in the room. My mom cut the umbilical cord. My dad couldn't be in the room because all of that, but he was outside of the room, and the whole time he was like, is he out, is he out? Like, he was just like, but the like, just so anxious to meet his his godson, I mean his grandkid. And yeah, like, I'm just so happy. Like, my grandma was there. Rest in peace to my grandma. We recently lost her on April, but I'm so happy she was there to see me. Like, she always wanted a great grandkid, and she was there to experience me having him, and I'm so blessed and thankful for everything and how it happened. The pain was so bad, but I would 100% do this all over again for my baby. Like, I adore my kid so much. Like, I'm telling you, the moment you have your kid and they do chest, like you guys do chest to, like the moment you just see him like come out, like you fall in love. Like, you're like, wow. Like, the first thing I thought was, that's my human, like that's my little human, like that's my best friend for life. Like, I'm sorry I'm like going off, but I'm just so in love with him. Like, I love it being a mom, I love everything about him. Like, I love him. But but yeah, I want to give a big thanks to Tarzana. Not like they're gonna watch this, but girls, if you guys get pregnant, Tarzana is the hospital I 100% recommend. I love Tarzana. They treat you good. They make sure you have ice, you have water. Like, they check on you like this. They check your bathroom to see if you have your pads, your everything. Like, they check everything. Like, the moment you click that help button, they're here. Like, they're at your door. But yeah, I want to give a big thanks to them, and a big thanks to my mom and dad for being there, going through the pain. I'm sorry I told you guys to shut up so many times, but yeah, I want to thank everybody who's in the room, the twins, the losers. What's up, Jenny and Erica? Juana, I want to thank her too, and my grandma too, my guardian angel, for always taking care of me and Sebastian. So yeah, guys, that was my labor and delivery story. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys want to hear more story times, or like want to see more mommy videos, please let me know. I'm at IG, or let me know on all my social medias. My Snapchat is at Little Mama Viri. My Instagram is at Little Mama Viri, and my Twitter is at Little Mama Viri. So go follow. Everything will be on this description below. I am gonna put videos, so enjoy.
Te lo va a abrir, le vas
A ver.
Como que lo estoy haciendo, ¿eh? Tú simula dolor.
No sabe dónde. ¿Ya abrió o no abrió?
8:30.
Oh, sí.
See you later, alligator.
Ay, Bambi, cállate. ¿Ocupas ayuda, mija?
No.
¿Sí es cierto? Nos vemos a rato. ¿De quién es?
There you go. ¿Lo sacamos ya?
Mamá, cállate.
¿Tú lo agarras?
Te estoy diciendo que no todos son igual,
Yo no estoy diciendo nada.
¿Qué trae?
Yo no sé,
Everything I
Paloma.
do, I didn't do that. I didn't do that. Like,
Tú cállate ya, por tu culpa me regaña. A ver, regaña a tu papá.
oh, shut up.
Nos dice.
Ya, hija, ya salí, ya. ¡Ay! Ya, hija, ya.
Ay, gracias.
Ay,
Yo
ya, hija.
I'm not crying.
No, no
It's
worries.
okay.
You just got out. He's been begging.
Hi.
You okay, Liz?
Yeah, I'm totally fine. He's fine. He's crying. Hi.
Ya, hija, ya está ahí.
Ya chilló, Viri, ya chilló.
Hi, pumpkin.
Mija, espérate.
No. Hi.
Ya.
My pleasure. Great. I think the way he was coming down was crooked. That's why it took so long. Oh, sorry.
EBL 200, and then they need a pee, doctor.
No, it's feminine.
Feminish.
Yes, action twice already. Okay.
El mocho. Chiquillo mozo. Ahí está mi viñeto.
Just make sure, mommy, that the nose is